Welcome back to Why Should This Matter to Me? You're with Ashley, and today our topic is leaders. So to begin, we're going to do another brain buster. I want you to think about a leader who, or a person who you think is a leader, and what qualities they have that appeal to you, and why they make you they are the leader that you believe they are. Hold that, and we will continue on this journey of leaders. And what it means to be a leader, but just keep referring back to that person in your head as you're listening. Now, what is a leader? So there is so much information out there that could tell you what a leader is, what leadership style best works, and who's the best leader in the world right now. But ultimately, a leader is someone that can't be really well defined, because let's face it, the leader you picked just before in the activity is probably going to be a completely different person to who I picked when I was doing that activity. Your values, your morals, what you believe in, that ultimately influences who you see as a good leader. Like, an example of this is that I personally think that Hitler wasn't a bad leader. He did bad things, but he was a very, very good leader. He knew how to lead his people. He was diplomatic. He was charismatic. He had a lot of the leadership qualities that I believe are important in a person in order to lead. So although he did bad things, I think he's a good leader, but you on the other side might completely disagree with me on that. But that's where it comes back to that idea of, I don't think leaders can be defined no matter how much information, how much research we conduct. Leadership and leaders really can't be defined. But something that can be said about leaders is that as humans, we think we get to this particular point in our life where we know everything, we completely plateau off, we're at our point, we're at our peak. But that's not the case. And that's exactly the same principle for leadership. If you think you're at the peak of your leadership, you know everything, then there is plenty of other areas that you can improve on, that you can learn on. Leadership in its fundamental form is about growth. And if you're still growing as a leader now, or you're not, you might want to start looking at areas in which you can grow in, because after all, when we're uncomfortable, therefore we are learning, therefore we are growing. And I think the ultimate thing with leadership is that there's no right or wrong leadership style. Cometh the man, cometh the time. There's going to be a right person for the right time. It's not always going to be you. And what does this mean for us as marketers? Well, we need to be leaders in different spaces, in different places. And we need to acknowledge that sometimes our leadership styles are not always going to be the right way or necessary for the company, but it will be beneficial at some point. And that we as young developing marketers and as leaders, we will be changing the face of this world if we just choose to develop more, opposed to just plateau off and think we're at the best we can be right now. Leadership is a huge topic. I could go on for it for ages, but I hope you enjoyed just this little bit of a snippet. It has overrun by 40 seconds, so peace out, guys.